20 years of Kenny versus Spenny. There's an anniversary tour going on right now, and we've got one half of the duo on the air with us, the good half, Kenny Hotz, everybody.
Woo! Mr. Hotz, I prefer. And yes, the important half. And it's not a 20-year anniversary. It's like a 55-year anniversary. We've been doing this for a while now.
So what is the anniversary of? Is it the show debuting on the CBC?
Yeah, on the Can't Be Cool, we used to call it. You know, our nicknames on the CBC were Wine and Shyster.
It is one of the most remarkable feats, I think, in Canadian broadcasting history that I can remember getting home from school at what time were you on, 4:30 in the afternoon?
Well, we were on at 5:30. Right after The Simpsons, and then it went from us to the National. So there was always this insane humiliation of Spencer bobbing for apples out of a toilet before it got to Peter Mansbridge.
Oh, yeah.
I know,
just some wild television.
The stuff you guys were doing on that show, the fact that it was after-school TV for
government funded,
the young generation. How did you pull it off?
You know what's funny is it was so Canadian that the broadcasters didn't really, regulate us or have any input, and so un-Canadian because it was a show that glorified a cheater. It was so absurd and abrasive to Canadians because it was coming out of a Tom Green kind of genre and Jackass. So Canada was kind of looking for a show that emulated those highly successful shows in the U.S., and we were kind of the next guys in line. We did a pilot in L.A., and Showcase gave us 26 shows, which is the largest order in the history of, the channel. And we were Jews. There were no Jews on TV in the CBC, so it was kind of just this perfect storm. And then once we started airing, whatever we put on, they were allowing. And it was just insane. We slipped through the cracks, and then the show got so popular they couldn't really mess with it.
Yeah.
And then
I remember seeing some stuff. I'm like, what? This? They wouldn't let this on some stations after 10:30 at night.
Yeah, they wouldn't let that on Al Jazeera now. They wouldn't let that on anything now. I can't even get it on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, times have changed a little bit.
One of the biggest laughs I ever had, Kenny, I don't know what your favorite moment from the show is, but when you had that pump and you pumped the air into your buttocks and then released that loud, long fart, the look on your face is the funniest part of it because obviously you even surprised yourself with that one.
It was more like, take this, I win. So, and you know what? It's funny because Matt and Trey from South Park executive produced that season. So I took the show to them in Los Angeles and showed it to them, and I watched them fall off a couch laughing, which was one of the greatest moments of my life to get those, to have those two geniuses hit the floor because he made something. And to me, I love the show. I honestly think that it's that moment of me farting on the stairs is one of the greatest moments in the history of television, but I'm an egomaniacal narcissist.
It's funny because that sounds like an exaggeration, but you just have to think about how influential your show was. Plus, you mentioned Jackass and Tom Green, but really, I mean, half of YouTube is essentially a Kenny versus Spenny episode. I mean, Mr. Beast is just basically a bunch of challenges. Maybe not as silly, but I mean, that is kind of YouTube. It's taken over television.
Yeah, people doing moronic things.
Guerrilla style.
We've kind of been saddled with that idea that we were kind of pioneers, but I think things would have probably gotten there eventually, and I don't want to be responsible for all of these, idiots putting on mascara and making $150,000 a week. So.